For this Marcel iron curl, we are going to start off by pre-sectioning the hair with a mohawk section at the top and then sections as wide as your iron. And just bring each of those sections up, get them clipped up. Perfect. You're going to start by using your iron vertical. Your iron is pointing up toward the ceiling, and you are going to do a vertical spiral curl where you start in the middle of the hair strand and feed the ends in, then wind the curl up towards the scalp. So wind those ends in first, then wind your iron up towards the scalp. We are going for off base. So you've got to angle your vertical sections down as if you're doing 45 below, just side to side rather than up and down on these sections. So vertical, off base. Make sure to let those sections sit on your iron until you can feel the heat through the hair. I've sped the video up so it doesn't seem like I'm holding it for a long amount of time, but just do a temperature check by feeling it with your fingers. Once you feel that heat through, then release the curl. Now we're doing horizontal curl. So you're going to hold your iron horizontal and you're keeping the blade or the clamp pointed up toward the ceiling. Then you're going to direct your sections out at 90 degrees, so pointing toward you or straight out from where it grows. And then you're going to keep a hold of those ends while you feed the hair into the iron. And we're going for a root curl, so we're wanting to keep our iron at the base and then just feed those ends in while maintaining the iron closer to the base. And you're going to do this for the rest of the sections up the head, leaving out the very top mohawk. So keep a hang on those ends. That makes feeding them in much easier. And then when you drop your curls, resist the urge to want to run your hands through them and pull them. Let them sit. I'm just positioning mine so that they cool in a way of where I want it, but that's it. So don't pull or brush them out. Give them time to fully cool. So try not to disturb the curl, just set them where you want them to cool. And then you're just going to keep working up the head. Notice that I'm keeping my heat-resistant comb in my hand at all times. If you can try to do that, it will make it much faster and you'll have the ability to brush out your section if you've got a little bit of flyaways or hairs coming different directions. You can smooth out your section. Also keeping it in your hand so that way you could use it to shield the scalp if you get a little close to the scalp. Then this is our last section. We're doing half off base. Again, pulling that hair straight out. So the iron ends up right on that part line below your section. And then release, let it cool. Now for the top. We are going to definitely need our heat resistant comb for this. And we are going to do our over-directed volume on base curls. So you are going to direct that hair above the 45 above, so more of like a 180 degree above your section. And then you're going to use your comb to kind of shield the scalp, support that curl so it sits right on its section. So there we go, over directing that curl, working it down, feeding the ends in. We're still using our iron horizontal, and we're doing these curls away from the face, so you're going to be rolling your iron toward you. And you want to keep these curls undisturbed in their barrel formation, so work your best around them so that way they can sit and cool, so they can be very nice and strong and provide some really great volume at the top. For your very last section, tip your model or your mannequin back, so that way this curl you won't be fighting gravity with it falling forward. So keep the head slightly tipped back. That will help keep this curl in place while sitting on base. Once you've finished that, you're going to let it cool. Give it a couple of minutes, just make sure it's fully cooled down and you feel no heat or warmth. Then you're just gonna go through and run your hands through it. You can definitely go in with a brush or a comb and relax them more, but I just like to play around with it, just set it with my fingers. That way I'm still keeping a lot of my curl in. But you'll notice that this is a very strong curl, very similar to the roller set, so you can really manipulate these curls how you want. That's our after.